Now you're going to lead people, and you all of a sudden have a magic wand waved on you, and you have this title, quote unquote, of being a leader, and you put yourself into these self-imposed expectations. Well, think about it. If you don't have a model, if you haven't been taught, if you don't have someone to kind of coach you through the way, you're doing something new for the first time. Research has shown that 60% of new managers receive no training before taking on a leadership role. So you're not failing, you're just learning. Step back into something brand spanking new, and you're learning how to do it. So give yourself permission to feel overwhelmed. Give yourself permission to feel the stress of leading a team of people. That's not weakness, it's growth. When you have the permission, you give yourself permission and acknowledge those feelings, and you connect it to a why, which is most likely your sense of purpose and your sense of desire to do good as a leader, then you can take that combination of acknowledging a feeling, connecting it to a situation, and then do something about it. You can put it into an action plan. So I remember the very first team that I led when I left the military. I was working at a distribution center for a retail company, Fortune 500 company, and I thought I knew what it meant to lead people. I've led people in the military. I got out. I was a lieutenant. I've been deployed. I've led a couple different teams under my belt at this point in time in my career. And I get to a distribution center, and I had to learn relationships with peers, and not everybody there was a veteran or had been in the military. In fact, I was probably just among 10% of people who may have been. I didn't understand the operation. It was my first time working in distribution and supply chain logistics, and the company culture was different than the military culture. So these feelings of having to acclimate to life outside of the military, having to acclimate and align to a new company and their purpose, having to build new relationships, having to build trust with my team as well as my peers, as well as my boss, and understand and balance all that expectations, man, you had to be really good at juggling. So I didn't know the ins and outs. What I did was I took a step back, and I remembered and I reflected on what made me successful my first time leading a team in the military. And I just applied those same principles. Get to know my team members on a personal basis, get to understand the process of what we're here to do in the operation, have an expectation conversation with my boss on what success looks like, and get familiar and be curious about what my peers are doing to my left and right. So as soon as I had that acknowledgement of my feeling, connected it to why I wanted to excel, I had a plan of action, and I repeated similar success that was in the past and I applied it to the current situation. And that really helped me out.